Hi, and welcome to the Reading Before School course. And this is Class 1, and we're going to be talking about the history of Doman Method reading in this class. To tell the story of Doman Method reading, we really have to begin with my grandfather, Glenn Doman. He wrote the book How to Teach Your Baby to Read in 1964, and since then, tens of thousands of parents have used the information that we're going to be discussing in this course to teach their children how to read. To tell you a little bit about my grandfather and the impact he had on world literacy, he started as a physical therapist who discovered programs for children with special needs which helped their brain development. And he realized that the information that he discovered with kids with special needs could be used for all children. He actually first learned that tiny children had the capability of reading with a young 3-year-old named Tommy who had suffered brain damage. And he realized that if Tommy could learn how to read at age 3, why couldn't neurotypical children also learn how to read at a young age? And that's what really gave birth to the Doman Method Reading Program. He created programs and activities to foster a child's development. And so reading is just one part of the Doman Method, but we're going to be focusing on it in this course. He believed in empowering parents to help them raise smart, capable, happy children who love to learn. And so you'll find that this course isn't just about how to teach a young child how to read, but also how to teach them a love of learning that will last a lifetime. And I also have to say, as his grandson, he was a loving and kind man, and he was an amazing grandfather. And it's an absolute honor to not only be his grandson, but to be able to carry on his mission of bringing literacy to young children all around the world. To tell you a bit about myself, I was raised on my grandfather's programs by my parents, Douglas and Rosalind. And so I always like to tell parents that everything that I'm going to teach you about, I experienced as a young child myself. And so I'm not just a teacher of the Doman Method, I learned on the Doman Method. And so it's a great honor for me to get to bring the gift that my parents gave to me and to my siblings and be able to give that to other children. I've worked for 14 years in this field, teaching both parents and children. And so if you followed me on any given day, you'd find me coaching families on how to help their children develop cognitively, physically, and socially. I earned a master's degree in early childhood education, and I am a co-founder of Doman Learning. So along with my parents, Douglas and Rosalind, and my siblings, we decided together to begin Doman Learning so that other children could benefit from these wonderful early education programs. And I teach parents of kids, both kids with special needs and neurotypical children, how to help their children in their development so that their children can reach all of their goals in life. To tell you a bit about the program that we're going to be discussing in this course, the reading program, it all started with that book, How to Teach Your Baby to Read, in 1964. And that book really was a paradigm shift for the world. No one had even considered that children under the age of 6 could learn how to read. And since it's been published, it has been translated into 22 different languages and has sold 5 million copies. And so hundreds of thousands or perhaps even millions of children have now been raised on this reading program. Millions of parents have used this information to teach their children to read, and that includes me. And we consider it very important for you to read the book as well. Even though I'm going to do my very best in this course to teach you everything that you need to know to teach your child how to read, I'd love for you to hear it from the expert himself, my grandfather, Glenn, and you can learn it directly from him in his book. And so this is what that book looks like. As I said, it's sold over 5 million copies. Now, I'd like to, before telling you how to teach your child to read, I'd like to explain why it is that we focus on empowering parents and why it should be you who teaches your child to read rather than some teacher or tutor. Well, first of all, you love your child more than anyone else. And, if you think back for a second to your favorite teacher from school, probably you'll realize that that favorite teacher was your preferred teacher, not because they held the most academic degrees, but because they really cared about you, the student. So you having love for your child will allow your child to enjoy their daily lessons with you and make this program fun and interesting for your child. Next, you know your child better than anyone else. And so knowing your child better than anyone else will allow you to tailor the program to their interests and their needs. And so that makes you uniquely suited to be a great teacher for your kid. And you can also make your home the ideal learning environment for your child. Many parents think that classrooms are the best learning environments for kids, but think about it. The child is in a room with 25 other children who are making sounds and who are distracting. And even the best teacher in the world still has to focus on teaching 25 different kids at the same time. So with this program, we have one perfect teacher, parent, who loves their child, and we have the child who's the only student there, right? Or in the case, if there are multiple kids in the household, there might be a few students. But this allows the child to have as few distractions as possible and learn as quickly as possible. Let's review the most important points in this lesson that we've covered. First of all, the Doman method has been used for 60 years to teach children how to read all around the world and was created first by Glenn Doman. The second thing is that we strongly recommend that you read the book How to Teach Your Baby to Read so that you can learn directly from Glenn himself. And third, you are the best teacher for your child. Understanding that you are the best teacher, that you love your child more than anyone else, that you can tailor make this program so your child is as successful as possible is very important for you to understand the classes that will come later in this course, and so that we can develop the very best reading program for your child.